Look at this, sweeping the president's office regularly, and devices are found. Who are those that kept the devices there?
Well, I mean, the suspicion clearly obvious, because if you are finding devices in his office and in his bedroom, the question is who had access to those two places freely? If you read between the lines of, who had that access. But because I spent hours interviewing the former DSS boss, and he was concerned. I mean, at one point, he told me that because I asked him a question, I said, were you ever concerned about the physical security of the president? He said yes. There are times he was concerned for the physical security of the president, because they will do the sweep every time they find devices, both in terms of eavesdropping devices and also what I can only call diabolical stuff were found. I mean, clearly that's not my area of expertise, but once you do a sweep and then you come back and the period, the regularity, I'm not sure how much time transpires between one sweep and the other. But by the time they come back, they found devices again, and they found more of the all kinds of talisman, all kinds of stuff they were finding in the president's bedroom and office. What surprised me by this whole disclosure was the fact that Buhari was told, he was aware, and he appeared powerless to do anything about it.
He appeared powerless to do anything about it. Because I was thinking, a president speaking with his daughter Fatima would rather write on a piece of paper in his office.
Yes.
That president must be in prison.
That's exactly the thing. Not only that, there are even people, most people told me that Buhari will, in fact, including even the children, Buhari will say some things in his office, maybe lash out at them, by giving them signal. And then later I will say, I have to do that because I did that for them. So Buhari was aware his office was bugged. So you see that he doesn't say things, or he says things deliberately. For example, one of the daughters said that when some of the cabal felt the daughter was getting awkward, Buhari actually told the daughter off in his office. But now told the daughter afterwards, and I wrote it down that, just forget what I'm saying, I'm doing this for them. So, and it sounds strange, because if you and I are in that situation, we say maybe because we don't control the machinery of state. But this is number one citizen. He appeared powerless to deal with the cabal. And that actually is a theme throughout the book, because every presidency have their cabals. But I think what made Buhari's cabal very difficult for him is that most cabals of most presidents, including the current one, most of them tend to be friends and associates. But the bulk of Buhari's cabal were his family, as an extended family. And these are people he grew to depend on. I mean, his father died when he was 3 years old. The men in his life that exemplify what man should be were the Mamandaras of this world, and several others that I mentioned. So those people have the hold of those people on him was strong. Then what that made it worse was Buhari was not somebody who was keen on embarrassing people. So if he's sacking people, it's like a blemish on them, and their children, their family will suffer for it. That was his feeling. Because his children, many of the interview repeatedly told me they went to tell him that, look, your ministers are not performing, sack them. But that their dad refused to sack those people because of the embarrassment it took us to the family of those people.